Okay, in this video, we're going through assignment number 5 that reviews acid base and our pH. It's worth 10 points and each spot's a half a point. So the first part is that we're looking at acid and base properties. So decide whether it be an A for an acid, a B for a base, both or neither. It has a bitter taste, so bitter is going to be our B for our base. Litmus purple. So if you remember, litmus can show acids as red, bases as blue. Purple is not a color, so this would be neither. H plus is its signature ion, so remember if it has H in the front, it would be an acid. Able to conduct electricity, that would be both. They are both electrolytes, and hydroxide, aka OH, is its signature ion. That's going to be our base, and that's when we see some cation and then OH for it. Okay, now we're going to name those bases. So when we're naming our bases, we just have to figure out what our cation's name is, and we're not going to change it. So we're going to have strontium, and then we see OH, and that is represented by our hydroxide. Now, we don't have to do anything with that 2, that just lets us know that this is a group 2 cation. So for number 7, we're going to have barium, and then we're going to have OH is hydroxide for it. Okay, now when we're doing the formula, you have to remember that if you're in group 1, you'll only have 1 hydroxide. If you're in group number 2, you're going to have 2 hydroxides like 6 and 7, and if you're in group 13, you're going to have 3 hydroxides. So if we look, we see potassium's in group number 1. So potassium is K, and it's in group 1, meaning we just need 1 OH. Lithium is also in group number 1, so then when we translate it, lithium is Li, and then hydroxide is going to be OH for it. So now when we're naming acids, we're going to see that there are 2 different ways to name it. We have our binary, which means that you're going to just have 2 elements, one of which is going to be an H, and then the other is going to be some other anion for it. So hydro, that's our prefix for H, fluor is going to be F. And we're going to see that it's going to be binary, aka just 2, and acid reaffirms that we're going to have this H in front. So we have hydro, lets us know it's binary, so only 2 of them. And then iodic, so we're going to have IOD is going to be I for iodine. Now, if we're looking at 12 and 13, this means we're going to have ternary or oxy acids. So we know this because they have no hydro prefix, meaning that we're going to be changing their names. So we have OUS. So if OUS is there, that means it came from ITE. So we need to find sulfite. Now this too lets us know the number of hydrogens. So we're going to see it as H2SO3 for sulfurous acid. Now, if we see IC, that means it came from ATE. So we're going to look for chlor8. We see it's on the bottom here. This one lets us know the number of hydrogens. So that means we'll just have 1, and then we'll copy down the rest of it. So we have 1 HClO3 for chloric. Now, if we're doing the reverse, remember if we have binary, aka 2 elements, we're going to use the prefix hydro, its stem, or its root word, and then ic, add acid as its last name. So if we see HCl, we're going to have it as hydro, the stem for Cl is chlor, and its ending is ic. So hydrochloric acid. Then we have HBr, so we're going to have hydro, then we're going to have brome, ic, and then acid. Now it gets a little bit trickier when we take a look here. The H lets us know that we're going to have an acid, but then we have to find NO3 for these ternary or oxy acids. So if we find NO3 here, we see that it's nitrate, and we just figured out that if you ate too much, you feel sick or ick, so it would be nitric acid. And then if we see HClO2, we need to find ClO2, and we find that it's chlorite. Ite goes to us. So ite to us. So we would have chlorus acid. So that's naming our binary of 14 and 15 and our ternary oxyacid of 16, 17. Now, our final section is acid, base, or pH. So, A for acid, B for base, and N for neutral. If it has an unknown substance has a pH of 12, that means it's greater than 7. So, this would be B for base. And we can think of it as a number line 7 as neutral, anything less is an acid, anything greater is a base. You test HCl, so it has an H in front. You already know that it's an acid. And it makes sense that the universal indicator is red, so that would be an A for acid. And then the pH for distilled water is 7. That's going to be our neutral. So thanks for watching for assignment number 5.